On the cloud. All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Passionately Speaking. This is our weekly public speaking training call where we pull back the curtain and we talk about advanced techniques in public speaking, things that you're not going to get anywhere else but here at the Passionately Speaking training call. So, again, welcome, everyone. We are in our last week. Well, I'm not going to say what week we're in because I want this to be evergreen, but we are we are very excited to be where we are today. So we are going to spell out the word. We are going to spell out emotional because tonight's topic is how to create that emotional connection with your audience, how to emotionally connect. There's so many times and so many speakers that speak and there's no connection. And I believe that you can connect to your audience in a 1 minute speech, in a 5 minute speech, in a 30-minute speech, or more, if you know how to do it. Some people don't even think about it. They're so busy being in their head about what they're going to talk about that they forget that they need to make that emotional connection. And now that we're in the virtual world, I'm telling you, as much as I love the virtual world, it's a little more challenging to connect with your audience because we have this big wall now in front of us. So you have to be so, exciting and over the top that you kind of go through that wall. And so I'm going to give you some tips tonight on how you can do it. These tips are for live as well, but I want you to really think about doing them in the virtual world because what I've seen so far, I'm telling you, what I've seen, and I just was at an event, and CJ knows who this was. I didn't see you there, but I was speaking there Saturday, and there were 40 speakers, right? Do you know what event I'm talking about, CJ? There were 40 speakers, and most of them did not stay on time. Angelique was there as well. They did not stay on time. They allotted us 5 minutes, but when the agenda was created, whoever created it did not allow time for introductions or for the MC to do his side comments, which he probably didn't need to be doing anyway. So that took up 3 minutes, and then you got 5 minutes. Well, guess what? I mean, even when my turn came, which is 11:40, I was an hour. I was postponed an hour just because of all that. You have to be careful if you are putting agendas together because it's never going to go just like that. You have to leave time for introduction. Now, I believe if you have a 5 minute showcase, you do not have an introduction. Why are you going to spend 3 minutes introducing somebody when they only have 5 minutes? It doesn't make sense to me. So that's why in my 5 minute showcase, and I hear somebody moving, so maybe CJ, you can mute them. But that's why I have 5 minute showcases that build in your own introduction so that you don't need to be introduced. So just keep that in mind if you're putting on some sort of a multi-speaker event. But all of the speakers, and this isn't to put down any of the speakers, it is for us to learn. That's why I always recommend you go to these events and these summits, not necessarily to get the information, although a lot of it could be good, but to look at the speakers. And I know CJ's done this many, many times. I know Dr. Renee's done it many times because she's told me. You go and look at the speakers, and then you can come back and you really appreciate what you've learned here. All right, because most of those people are not trained and they're just what? They're rambling. So here's kind of what happened. A lot of the speakers, they're sitting down. Rule number one is you don't sit down when you speak because we don't when we do it live. So get yourself a stand-up desk or a stand-up something so that when you're really doing a live speech, you're standing up. So they were all sitting down, and we'd sit down, we're kind of casual, drinking our coffee or whatever. And so they would just ramble and go overtime. And then when the MC would say, "You've got 10 seconds," they were like, "Oh, whoa." And then what happened is we didn't get all the goods, and they didn't have a chance to close, even though it was a soft close anyway. They didn't get all the goods. So we missed out, they miss out. So that's why it's so important for you to stay on time. There was no emotional connection, which prompted my topic today. And so we want to make sure, even if it's 5 minutes, that you have an emotional connection. Is it harder to do? Yes, it is, but not impossible. It is not impossible. So I'm grooming you all as speakers, and you're all, you know all this stuff. And I'm just going to keep reiterating it, because even in a 5 minute, it is so important to just stay on time, stay on time. Dr. Renee, I love her. Sometimes she says, I was speaking and I heard you in my head, Arvee, right? And that's what I want to be to all of you. I want you to stay on time, emotional connection, emotional connection. And then I know I've done my job. All right. So am I in? Whose head am I in sometimes when you're speaking? Awesome. Yay. I love it. Great. That's cool. I love it. All right. So we're going to spell out emotional. So write that in your notes. I hope all of you have kept a binder for passionately speaking, or at least a spiral binder. Right? Do you have one? All right, Bill. All right, Angela. All right, Chad. Look at Jean's binder. She's been in this for quite some time. Wow, I love it. Good job, everyone. If you haven't, start one. Make sure you have a way to capture those notes. All right, so how to emotionally connect to our audience, both online and off. We're going to spell out the word emotional. Emotional. The E is for empathy. The E is for empathy. So if you want to first connect to your audience, you need to know what they want, what they feel, what they really want, what's important to them, so that you can join them with that and have some empathy toward that. Whether it's something as simple as getting clients, or having better health, or something that happened to them in their family, or what's happening during the pandemic. So show that you care about them, and that you really care what they care about, right? So show some empathy. How would you know? Well, a lot of times we can tell just by what kind of group it is. If it's a women's group, and it's a women's group for, let's say, Dr. Renee's topic, women who want to find, a man of their life, well, we kind of know what's going on. They probably have had some pretty bad relationships that we can empathize with, right? So you kind of know overall business. Maybe they're having a hard time getting clients right now during this pandemic. So we want to be sensitive to what our audience needs and where they're at, instead of just thinking of ourselves and how do we look and how's everything going. Really take a look around. One thing I love about this environment, think about it. When you are on stage, we see the back of the heads of everybody. The speaker is the only one that sees everybody and everybody's face. Guess what? Now each and every one of us can see everybody's face. We don't see any more back of the heads, whether you're speaking or not. If you just look around and look at people's body language, you can tell a little bit about what's going on, if they're comfortable, if they're not comfortable, right? If they're busy, if they're not busy. So, take a look around a little bit at each of the squares. Everything is magnified, right? Just know that we can see you, right? Even without my big glasses, I can see you. I can see what's going on. All right. I love those things. The M, the M is for match audience. Match audience with the value they seek. I want you to match your audience with the value they seek. Even when you're doing 5 minutes, give them some value. Give them something they've never heard. Give them something new, not something old, not something safe, but something you're protecting, maybe a secret. When I give the real stuff, and I don't mean your formulas and all that stuff or things that take a lot of explanation, but there's a lot of key things that you may be saving or harboring that could help someone, and they go, wow, that was a breakthrough. And that's what we want to do as speakers, is create that kind of awareness and possibly even a breakthrough. So I want all of you to think about maybe a secret or something you take for granted. So one of the things I'll demonstrate is like when Jackie a few weeks ago said you need to eat two of every color every day. And she's talking about fruits and vegetables. I mean, that just blew me away. I've never heard that. To me, that was new. That was the secret sauce. That was the sky hook, right? That's what I want you to think about. You all have that, and you're either taking it for granted, thinking everybody knows about it, so you don't share it, or you're holding it because you think that it's so valuable that you're going to have somebody pay to get it. And I want to say, knock that off. Give something really super, 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 super special. And you all have it. You all have it. All right. So match your audience with values that they seek, and they're really looking and seeking for new information, new stuff that they haven't ever heard before. All right. So when we jumped on this call, I shared with all of you the new version of Zoom. Make sure you get the new version. It is in the chat. Whatever, give value to people all the time. That's what you need to do. All right, so the O, we're spelling out emotional. The O is for open heart. This is one of my favorites, open heart. So how do you open the hearts of your listeners? I've shared this dozens of times. Who can tell me, or write it in the chat, whatever you feel comfortable, what is the easiest way to open the hearts of your listeners?
Stories.
Stories. Yes, stories. And most people, and even myself included, because I'm an educator, don't add enough stories to our speech. And I want you to add stories that are memorable, and stories that maybe haven't ever been told in other people's, and stories that will leave an imprint without damage, right? I don't want you to, an imprint is good, but not anything that's going to damage them. Now, there's one of there's this man that I met through somebody else. I'm going to leave his name anonymous just in case he doesn't want me sharing the story. And he was speaking at one of my mentors' events, and all of a sudden he's speaking on leadership, and all of a sudden he started to talk about going to visit Charles Manson in prison. Charles Manson, he said, blah, 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 Charles Manson. And I'm like, what? What? I've never heard anything like that. Back up, back up. And I asked him, I said, what was it like to visit Charles Manson? Now, everybody knows who Charles Manson is, right? No question. But I was fascinated, not that I'm into him, but what was it like to visit someone like that? And here's what he said. He said, well, when he went to the prison, Charles Manson was, and he still is, of course, in total security all by himself. He doesn't get to walk around, and say, hey, high five, dude. Hey, dude. He's in total security because he's a whack job. So he said that Charles Manson asked him to come, if he could come and visit, if he could come and see him. And I guess the guards and everything said, okay. And this guy said, okay. And so he went in there. He's telling the story now after I stopped him, say, what was it like? And he said that Charles Manson made you feel significant, like you were the only one in the room that mattered. That's how he did what he did, that he was so influential. And this guy asked him, why kids? And he said that they were just easier to influence. But can you imagine being in the audience and having someone pour on you how significant you are? Wouldn't it be a wonderful world if we all were able to treat everybody like they were the only one in the room? Yet most of us sit there and we multitask, and we're looking at our phone, and we're not even present. You want to move somebody emotionally? Make sure that they feel significant, like they're the only one that matters. You want to have sex with your wife or husband? Make them feel significant. See what happens. Woo! All right. Woo! Yes, I said the S word. Woo! All right. So, significance. Getting back to open the hearts. Stories will open the hearts of your listeners. How many of you had an open heart there? A little bit open heart. I'm hearing about that and significance, and yet still getting value of something that you can use. Now, all stories don't have to be that intense. Of course, they can be fun and lively, but whatever it is, whether you're laughing, opens the heart, whether it's something mind blowing, will open the heart. All stories will open the hearts of your listeners, unless, of course, they're horror stories or sad stories, and then they could do the opposite. Right? They could do the opposite. But I was in a meeting this morning, my Christian business partners meeting, and there were and one of my students who's usually a part of this. Hey, Ruben, hi.
Hi.
I'm glad you could visit us from Italy.
Thank
Or
you.
wherever, or Venice, or wherever you are. And she started to getting choked up because what she does is very near and dear to her. That's another way to open up the hearts of your listeners emotionally. Now she held it back, which is what I teach. You don't want to let it go and be a blubbering idiot if you're a speaker. It's okay to speak. It's okay to cry, but you got to be brave and courageous and hold back the tears. That makes your audience cry. That's what makes them cry, to see you be brave. Ruben, we're spelling out the word emotional. So just write that down, emotional. And now we're on the T. T is for tone. Tone, speed, and value of your voice. Now, we all have unique voices. Unique. Now, I think in the speaking world, CJ has one of the voices that if we had a contest for the voice, speaking voice, he would get it. It's different, it's unique, it's loving, it's calm, it's all those things. There's quality to it. And he's also what? A singer and a musician. So that probably had a little something to do with it as well, as he's been developing it over the years. Now, I know some of Angelique's a singer also. All of us have great voices, but there's sometimes, like how many of you watch The Voice? Right? They're always like looking for that grovel, right? That little grovel, something that makes it different. It's not just the best operatic voice. It's just that little something that makes it different and unique. And to me, that's what CJ has. Right? How many agree? Yeah. See, you got a lot of fans here. That's cool. Awesome. So, but all of us can pay attention to our tone. We can pay attention to our speed, slow it down when we need to, when we want to make a point, do the whole powerful pause to get people to listen. And of course, use the quality of our voice. How do you get a better quality of voice? Most of you've learned my exercises. I teach them in my 3-day class. I did do long time ago a class here where you can learn the speaking exercises that will create a lower voice if you're too high, or just creates a more rich and resonant voice. Now, our Passionately Speaking site is down right now. It's been down for about 3 weeks. Something with HostGator, which is where it's hosted. We are working hard to get it back up. All right, so you can't run there and listen to the voice exercises right now. I apologize. The I is a big one. The I is for idea, big idea, right? What is the big underlining message to your speech? Maybe in Jackie's, with her telling us to eat 2 of every vegetable and fruit, her underlining is she really wants us to get healthy. She didn't want us to buy her supplements. Well, although that would be a part of getting healthy, because we're not going to buy fruits and vegetables from her. But her mission is to get people healthy. That's her mission here. And Jean shares that same mission, right? Jean wants people to get healthy. She does some cooking classes. She works at a health food store. She all this stuff, right? So what's the underlying message when you're giving your speech? So when Jackie gave her, what was it, 8 steps or something? What was it, Jackie, that you gave on this particular call a while back?
Just 2 steps. I used to talk about 5, but I condensed it to 2.
Got it. So 2 steps, 2 out of the 5 steps for what? To get healthy? Yeah. Okay. So, but her and so she told us the steps, but the underlying message, the big idea is for us to get healthy. You got that? So there's always some bigger idea than just, here's 3 things. I'm spelling out the word love. I'm spelling out, the word team, whatever it is, and you're teaching, but there's this underlying meaning, underlying big idea under what it is. And when you have that, as you teach those principles in that education, people will get that. And they will get the emotion and the passion that you have, that you want to make them better or right or whatever it is. So Ardina, who does art of, your family to encapsulate it, and she does beautiful, beautiful work to keep your photos from getting water damage or ruined or whatever. You could just pick one and have it encapsulated forever, right? She's dedicated to you keeping your memory. She didn't care what picture it is, right? She just wants you to have something, a legacy that you can have forever, that you can pass down to your kids and your kids' kids and your kids' kids, that'll look brand new, fresh from the day it was created till 100 years from now. No picture is going to last that long, and no digital is going to last that long. The minute your computer goes out, it's gone. The minute the phone goes out, they're lost. So there's always this underlying mission to all of us that we want to share. And it's like getting on your soapbox and saying, please, right? And mine is getting you to speak. Would you please get out there, right? You've got this message, right? It's going to change lives. So please get it out there. Please learn how to do it and get it out there. So there's always something bigger than just the straight message. The O. Now, the O is simple. It's for outline. Because you cannot emotionally attach to anybody if you're reading your script. And of course, we did some 5-minute showcases in my meeting today. And because we're in online, everybody thought it was okay to read. It's not. Because every time you look down and look up, you create an emotional disconnect. Disconnect, disconnect, disconnect. When you look right at that camera and you speak in it what you want people to learn and to get, and your big idea, they're going to get it. They're going to get it. It's from you, my eyes to your eyes, right there. Not to everybody. It's from me to you. That's how you emotionally connect. So outline, because you could not write it out and have that same connection. You can't even have that same connection with PowerPoint. That's why I chose not to have a PowerPoint today, because they're not connecting with you. They're connecting with your PowerPoint. They're loving on your PowerPoint, right? Now, I'm all for PowerPoint in this environment. I love it, because I think that if you were to talk too long and there's too many people, then you could get lost in the crowd. Now, I don't think I'm getting lost in the crowd because you're my crowd. Hey, there's Jim. Woohoo! All right. There's Jim.
He says hello.
Okay, good. So, big idea, outline. So, outline the format, outline your stories. Yes, your stories. Know the stories that you're going to tell that open the hearts of those listeners. Any metaphors that you might use, any examples, any exercises. anything that you're going to do in your speech, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, you want to know what it is and outline it. Don't write it out. If you write out your story, you're going to read it. It's just the way we're wired. We're just like, it's like a magnet. You have a script in front of you, it's like a magnet. You're just going to be drawn to it. And you're going to try to put it up here and try to look through one eye, but we're going to see you because everything is magnified. Right, CJ? I see him laughing. Right, Jason? What? Are you laughing at me? Awesome. All right. Now, the N in emotional, the N is for now relevant. What is going on? Now, not only there's two relevance. What is going on in the world, which we all know it's the pandemic. I think COVID has gotten more credit for stuff than anything else, right? COVID this and COVID that. Now, having said that, it is real and it's scary and it stinks and it's evil and all that. I'm not saying that. But even I've used it for the COVID discount. How many have had COVID discounts so far? I mean, we do, but it's telling everybody we know what's going on. If you were not to mention, I mean, in the very beginning, before, in a way, we settled in to the pandemic, in the beginning, I don't know about you, but there was resistance. I was like, there's no pandemic going on. There's nothing going on. I'm going to have my event in April. My event's going to be in April. It's not going on, right? All these events are canceling. I'm like, I'm not going to cancel my one day. Anybody remember that? Right? April 8th was my one day. Well, guess what I had to do? I had to cancel it because no one would have come because all of a sudden there was sheer fear. Everything was getting knocked down. But at first I was resisting. Well, guess what? I'm not resisting anymore after experiencing it for the firsthand. So what is relevant? So it's still relevant. Virtual speaking is relevant. Everything's relevant. But let's go further and say, what is relevant in the room? What is happening in the room that you are speaking in? That's what's important to notice. Well, how do I look at the camera and notice what's going on in the room? Well, you're going to take certain breaks and you're going to come to the audience and you're going to say, okay, now I want to speak to the audience, right? Now I want to look around. Now I want to get out of speaker view and come into gallery view. You're going to announce it and purposely say that. It's just like when you're on stage and you go, let's pause for a minute. I want to ask the audience a question. I want to look around. You're going to do the same thing. Okay. And I did it a couple of times when I said, how many of you remember this or how many of you are doing that? The same way, right? How many of you remember Jackie's presentation when she talked about eat 2 vegetables and 2 fruits, right? I mean, that's how you can come into the room and that's how you can see what's going on in the room. How many people like what I'm saying so far? Great. If you like what I'm saying so far, get your paddle, right? It also serves as a fan if you get too
It serves as a fan.
All right, Bill's getting his. Yay, Bill's got his.
We're all getting pedals.
Now, these came from $1 Million. So Ruben, I don't get $1 million. Where's yours?
Can you send me another one? I misplaced it.
Oh, well, put your address in the chat box. I'll send you another one. If you misplaced it, I've got extra. So just text, put it in the chat box, and I'll mail you one personally.
Thank you.
Everybody needs to have one. All right, let's go back to, okay, big idea, outline. Relevant, yeah, now relevant. Relevant in the room, relevant in the world. Without talking politics, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to go there. Somebody in my meeting today started saying something about politics. I said, we're not going there, right? It's like, do you remember, and God rest his soul. Come on, CJ, the comedian.
Bob Newhart.
That's it. That I always have the video of stop. He said in this video, he goes, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. And so every time I say those words, I think of him, but we're not going to go there. And you don't want to either. So, anything else relevant to what's going on in the room and the world? All right. The A is for actual words you use to say. So I want you to pay attention and use emotional based words. What are emotional based words? Emotional charged words, emotional based words. All right. So words, like love, words like, maybe Dr. Renee can add some, but emotionally charged words that mean something, not just visual words like, um, the train went rolling down the track or something like that, but emotionally charged. I love it when the train is rolling down the track, right? Uh, Dr. Renee, do you have a couple emotionally charged words that you might want to share?
Soft, loving, caress. Oh, I was going to say something else that starts with a P. Let's see. Caress, gentle, loving. Yeah, gentle and caress. I keeps coming up. And loving, delicious. Another good word.
Okay, we're not going to go there.
Okay, I didn't say the P word.
I'm just
4
kidding.
syllables, but delicious is good.
Delicious is good. Delightful.
Delightful is good.
Delightful is good. Okay, so they're kind of a softer, sexier type of words. All right, so the L is for love. The L is for love. So, and it's good that we work right from those words into love. And that is, you have to love on your audience, especially in this virtual world. So you noticed how every time someone came in, I recognized them and paid attention. There's nothing worse than coming into a room and being totally ignored. Even if you're speaking, there's nothing wrong with stopping. Hi, Ruben. Wow, are you coming from Italy today or Venice? Right? Give them some love and attention. I do it on the live stage. Someone comes in, I say, oh, come on in. There's a seat right here. Come on in and sit near me or something, right? I don't call them like you're late, even though I feel like it and I might be that close. But most people don't find that very funny, even though I think it's funny, but they don't think it's funny. So I don't want to call anybody on it, but just love on them, acknowledge them for coming in the room. And not to disrupt, not to let them disrupt or you disrupt your thought. But you see, I can go, hello, 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 Benita, hello, hello, and go right back on track. So only do it if you're on track. And guess what? How do you do that and stay on track? Make sure you know your speech. Make sure you've become the script. How do you become the script? Who can tell me?
Practice.
Practice.
That's right.
Rehearsal.
Rehearse.
Yeah.
1 hour for every 2 minutes. I did that even for my 5-minute speech. Right? It's only a couple hours. But guess what? I was right on. I knew what to say. And of course, I blew everybody away. I got a lot of great hits in the chat. And now this person was, going to pick 3 of the speakers to go on to do something else and be on his show. And I'm one of the 3. Why? Just because I rehearsed and I stayed on time. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't have to be easy, but too many people feel like they can wing it, especially in this environment. Wing it, you get wing it results. I wanted definite results. I wanted the results that I wanted. And so I set that as a goal. I'm going to be one of those 3. I'm going to be on time. And I was. And of course, I was standing up when everybody else was sitting down. Everybody. I don't think there's one other person standing up. Did you see any other people, Angelique, standing up? I don't think so. All right. So love on your audience. Make sure you welcome them. Make sure that you pay attention to them. Make sure that you say, please, thank you. Sounds good. Great question. Whatever it is to make them feel loved. And sometimes it might be like, seem like, well, it's a little much. You can never give too much love. Because everybody feels it. Everybody feels vicariously, lives vicariously through that person. So when I give kudos to CJ, don't you all feel it? I give kudos to Jackie. Don't you all feel it? That's right. So do it. You don't have to do it to every single person if there's lots and hundreds of people. Do it to 3 or 4 and everybody feels the love. That's the beauty about love. All right, so that's how to spell emotional. So in the last 15 minutes today, I'm going to open up the call in the order that you came on the call. Now, if you turned off, you end up at the bottom, right? So what I recommend when you come into anybody's Zoom room, cover your camera or, whatever you need to do, but don't turn it off or you lose order. Right? Okay. Now, Dr. Renee, do you have to go early?
No, I'm good today. I'm good today till 5 o'clock.
Okay, to 5 o'clock. Well, make sure you get in there because I know you were earlier and you dropped down in the bottom of my list.
Oh, how did I drop down, Arvee? How did I do that?
Because you turned off your video twice.
Oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, every time you turn it off, you drop to the bottom.
Yes, okay.
Now, I know you came in second, so I'll call you second, but I'm just saying for other meetings,
Yes.
they usually call you by tile.
Uh-huh.
And so
Got it.
don't turn it off. Instead, just get a sticky. If you have
Sticky, yeah.
mute yourself and get a sticky.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, good idea, Arvee. Again, another brilliant idea from Arvee.
Another brilliant idea. Oh, that's cool. Millions. I love it. All right. So let's see. I think it was Ardina that came in first, right, Ardina? Who came in first? Jeez. Okay, I'm just going to call Ardina first. Then I'll call Dr. Renee. Somebody was here before Dr. Renee, and I forgot who it was. Okay.
It was.
I think Arvee was the first one.
Okay. Arvee, could you repeat what the I was? I just wrote down idea, but I think you kind of elaborated on it.
Yeah. So idea, and then I said, comma, big idea.
Big idea.
Some big idea, something that shocks or something that's action oriented or just something that is so huge. Like when Jackie said, eat 2 of this and 2 of that, something that people haven't heard of. It's like, wow, I've never heard that. Instead of just regurgitating all this thing where she could have said, you have to eat leafy green vegetables every day, right? Well, we've all heard that. And whether we do it or not is something else, but we've all heard that. But specific to? I mean, like, I really tried 2 of every color, but you know how many
Yeah.
colors there are?
Mm.
Like a rainbow. So it's pretty amazing.
Okay. Yep.
You have fun with it because you can go, I can have a purple potato and I can have purple cabbage. That's my 2 purples, and you can have fun with it. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. All right. So that was that. Anything else?
No, this is good. It's right on time for me. You know that.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Dr. Renee, the love.
Yes. Oh, thank you. By the way, before I have a question. How is Michael? How's Michael? Can you give us a report, please?
Thank you. Yes, he's doing better, but his feet are swollen, which is not good as a heart patient. So that means he's retaining water and maybe had too much liquid, too much salt or something. So we're trying to work with that. And, but he's doing better. He's able to go into his office and work for a couple hours before he gets too tired. So thank you for asking.
Oh, you're welcome. Are you putting his feet up?
He does, but it doesn't help in this case.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
That might be something for you health experts, Jean and Jackie. How do you kind of reduce swelling? I'm rocking purple today. That's right. Oh, well, earlier, because it was so cold, it was 47 degrees here, Jean. So earlier, in my earlier meetings, I had my fun little sweater on, which is too hot now, but I love this. I love my sweater.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's a sweater set. Is that a sweater set?
No, it's 2
with
sets.
matching fur and it's so glamorous.
I put them together.
It's really pretty.
Okay, so thank you for that. And Dr. Renee,
Very nice. A sweater, purple sweater set.
Did you have
okay? So Yes, I have a question, and it's nothing to do with what you just talked about, but it's to do with speaking and live. Can I ask you one question quickly?
Of course you can.
Okay, so what is a sweet spot on Facebook Live? And it's just like let's see, how do I say it? Maybe a newsletter or a little hint and tip about, let's say, romance or date night in. And if I were to talk, just like press a button and just start talking like from here, what is a sweet spot on timing, in your opinion?
Okay. Well, what I do
Uh,
recommend is you go and see some of my Facebook Lives to give you a
Okay.
sample. But
Okay.
don't just start talking. You have an attention grabber. You tell
Yep.
people who you are, and then you get into the content.
Say that again. You froze for 1 second.
Oh, I
Attention grabber.
attention
Yes.
grabber, who you are, and then the content, which one good tip. Probably
Okay, got it.
no more than 3 minutes. And then of course you're gonna
Okay.
close. Come back tomorrow at noon for my next Facebook Live tip on love or whatever. Something to get them to come back. What you don't want to do is say, hey, Facebook, because then it's not evergreen. So always talk like you're talking to one person and say, are you frustrated with your love life? Would you like to get more out of your relationships? Hi, I'm Dr. Renee Gordon, and I've been a coach for blah, 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 and you can have it all. Let me give you a tip right now on how you can have it, whatever. Right? And then just go into it. If you like this tip and want more tips on how you can find the love of your life, come back tomorrow for my next Facebook Live. Bye for now. Right?
Okay, and that would be a certain time every day, the same time. Is that what you recommend?
I do. But if you can't,
Okay.
you can be late. It's okay.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Consistency and timing.
Is key. And you're not going for the views there. You're going for all the views after.
Got it. This is an asset then, right?
Yeah. Now,
Got
if
it.
you
Okay.
don't use the word Facebook or live in there, then you can repurpose it to YouTube, which
Correct.
is what I do. Yeah.
Yes, because you're brilliant. Your purpose
Took
to
a lot of
YouTube.
credit.
Okay,
All
thank
right, well,
you.
that's brilliant. I receive.
Okay. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's go to the next one. I think it was Janine, even though she's got her camera off. Janine, would you like to share?
No, I really liked the one about emotional, don't read, and it creates an emotional distance or disconnect.
Disconnect.
That was great.
You read. Mm-hmm.
And also, what was M? There was empathy, and then M was what?
Match audience. Match audience. So you want to match them with the value they seek. So
Oh,
they're coming in with an expectation. You want to give them that or match it.
okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to CJ.
Hello. I have I'll add a little secret on to what you just said, just a little tip. And that is, if you're going to record those videos, I love how Arvee said, just you can refer to it as a video. If you don't want to say Facebook Live specifically, you can say come back for the next video. And that way you could put it on Facebook or YouTube, wherever. Here's my next tip. When you're filming that video, if you're going to use your phone, make sure that you're using it in this side-to-side orientation. It's very common to film your Facebook Live with it up and down, but then you can't really reuse it for other places like YouTube and everywhere else. So always film your videos like this. That way you can put them everywhere. And then finally, if you're going to publish that to Facebook, I would say publish it first to your Facebook page, your business page. Maybe if you don't have a business page, maybe you have a speaker page, a public facing page. Publish it there first, and then you can cross share it to your own personal profile on Facebook. Better to do that.
Was that landscape or was that horizontal?
Landscape. Yeah,
landscape is the best.
Landscape.
Landscape.
Otherwise, the video comes out like you're coming out right now.
Okay, got it. Yeah, this is too up and down.
Kind of like all of us are.
Okay, this is, you guys are all landscape.
Right. So
Right.
CJ, except for Benita, you're recommending that we do the live on our page instead of our timeline?
There.
Yes, to your
The opposite. I do it on my timeline, then I put it over to the page because I want some live viewers. What
Mhm.
is the difference from doing it the other way?
What you just said is also true. And what I'm saying is that if you publish it to your public page first as the place where it lives, and that's set to public, anyone can share that video to their own personal wherever, and the original video still lives in a public place. As opposed to if you publish it first to your personal profile, there
Yeah.
may be restrictions on who can see that, if they're friends with you, if you're guarding your privacy or protecting your own personal information. So I say have both. Have a personal profile. That's the thing you use to log into Facebook directly. That's your username and password. That's where you can become friends with me personally. We can be friends with each other. But then also have a public facing business page, business kind of entity. Even as a speaker author, you can have a business page. I have two. I have a business page for my website company, and then I have a business page for me as a speaker author. So that's where I publish my videos from, so that I can always share a link back to that with anyone and it's public. And then I share it over to my personal stuff because I want people to be able to see it there too.
Got it. So recommended, put to your professional page and then share it to your timeline because other people can also share it from your personal page,
From your public page.
from the business page.
Correct.
Okay, but that's just people that know about your page.
Sure. And they could grow, and then they could share it, and then they could share it, and then they could share it.
Okay, all right, perfect. But if you want views where people come in and say, hi, CJ, this is really good stuff, that only really happens on your personal page.
100% true. That is 100% true. If your higher intention is you want more people on that live with you in the moment, go live to your personal page.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
But be careful because if you do that, then it's not evergreen and you can't really put it on YouTube. So I know
There's a way you can do both. Balance them.
balance, a lot to do. Okay, I want to call on Bill right now because just in case he gets tired, he has to go. I'm just so thrilled, Bill, that you're here tonight. It's been a month or two since you've been here. So welcome back. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. Go ahead and unmute yourself. And if you have any questions, comments, or anything, please share.
Well, I'm going to have to get back up to speed with this stuff. And I'd be looking for a way to set up a business model to work with it as well as the speaking understanding. So any tips you can pass along that way would be great.
Okay, what was that now exactly? Something about your business page and your
Business model. In other words, what do I need to put together to make it work?
to make what work? Sorry.
His business page.
How do I get the money if I get, the ABCs of the operation and how it works?
Okay. Are you comfortable putting that in the chat? Because I can't quite grasp what you're asking for. And so I can't make recommendations because I'm not real clear. So,
Well, I'm a novice on most of the items, including Facebook.
right?
So what things should I focus on to develop my skill set?
Speaking is all you need. Don't forget Facebook. Forget Facebook.
Start with Facebook.
Yeah. Forget Facebook. It's a big waste of time, right? For where you're at in your business, you just need to speak. Focus on getting speaking engagements and getting out there and getting on these, these platforms and panels and go back to CBP and work that. There's 30 chapters there. And work it and just get more speaking engagements. Go to the chamber, go to the Rotary, go to any club that you're in. Get speaking engagements. People are still booking for this year.
I can hardly talk. I got a sore throat.
I understand that. Then the next best thing, since you can't talk right now, is to start writing articles. Create content no matter what. But I know you have a book written, right, Bill?
I have a book, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you have a book, right?
Not that I wrote.
Okay. All right. Well, then you need to start writing some articles, put those articles on LinkedIn and have them go over to Facebook if you want a little social media activity. Email the articles if you have a list. Get people in through giving them some financial secrets, some benefits, right? So your expertise, the real expertise, like what people don't know about money, what they don't know about insurance, what they don't know about retirement, right? What they don't know about retirement that can kill them, you know, that kind of thing. And get people to start reading your stuff. But if you can't speak, write.
Got it. Thank you.
Ardina, wait a minute. Ardina has to go. I totally forgot. Ardina, come back here. Don't go. You have a call right now? Okay, but you already shared.
I did.
Okay, so just want to make sure you're okay. All right, if you have to go, you know, we get it.
All right, thank you. Everybody have a good evening.
Okay. All right, so Bill, so
I need to go.
oh, okay, so Bill, can you write?
Christian.
Can you write some articles?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, if you can't speak, then that might be the best thing. And just give your voice a little you know, time to heal. Okay. Okay. All right, great. All right, let's go. Let's see who's next. Let's go to Angelique. CJ, did I already pick you? Not yet?
Me? No.
No, CJ. Did I pick you? Yeah, okay. Well, because once Ardina left, you all changed. And now I'm like, now you're out of order. Okay, Angelique.
Arvee, I'm going to have to leave before you're done with everyone.
Go first.
Okay, did you want to make a comment? And again, these are comments about what you heard. These are not promotions about somebody else's event. All right, you know, that's not what this is for. This is for training for you as a public speaker. So do you have any comments, questions about what we covered tonight? Wait, Jean, don't go anywhere. Benita, Joy?
Well, my question, who's going? Okay. My question is, I've been invited to be on a virtual event, and I can either be interviewed or do a presentation, and I have a choice. And it would be about bringing humor into entrepreneurship. Which do you think would be better, being interviewed by the host or doing a presentation for 20 to 30 minutes?
Presentation, no doubt, where it's just you and the audience. An interview, you don't have control over what you say, because whether you have the questions or not, you don't have control over anything. You don't have control over the person interviewing you. If they want to go blah, 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 and take your time, they'll do that. The only reason why you would do an interview is to A, you're not yet a trained speaker and you're scared and you don't know how to do it by yourself, which is not you. Or B, that's the only choice you get. But you can bring in your puppets. I would do absolutely hands down. Who would agree with me? Sing solo speech. Absolutely. Yeah. Look around. No question.
Although I haven't done this particular talk yet on bringing humor into your business, but I have several weeks to work on it. So.
Oh, there you go. Make sure you practice and get it down and stay on time. All right. Thank you, Benita. All right. So Angelique.
All right. So I have kind of a question about lives as well.
So if you're doing a live with a series of multiple days and you have an attention grabber, would you say that same attention grabber every single time, or does that get annoying to the viewers?
No, I would do a new one because you have a new topic that you're doing,
Okay.
right? So like your 21 days to happiness, everyone is a new attention grabber.
Okay.
It's not? Oh, okay. Well, that's okay.
I kept saying, are you tired of what I kept saying? I kept saying, are you tired of being happy in your online person? Or are you tired of I can't remember what I said, but basically, are you tired of being happy in your online persona but not in your real life? So that's what I kept saying, something like that. It changes, the wording changes every time because it's not scripted, right? But
Yeah,
kind of boring.
so
Yeah.
it's different because each tip is going to be different. One's going to be about mindset, one's going to be about money, or one's going to be about relationships. So even
Makes
though
sense.
you have a lot of happiness things, there are 21 different things that people are doing to get to happiness in 21 days.
I thought it felt kind of weird.
That's okay. Leave this one. Don't touch it. But you're going to do another 21 days on what we talked about today.
Yep.
Are you gonna? You can reveal it if you want to. If you don't, that's okay.
Yep. It was 21 days to manifest. It was where's my note? Oh, so 21 days, manifest 21 days. I can't even read my own writing. What was it? I can't read my own writing. Outlet.
I don't remember.
Damn it.
The gems that come out, ladies and gentlemen, you got to write them down because they're like,
right?
"Ooh."
And I can't read my own writing. I was writing too fast. What did I say? Oh, well, it'll come to me. God will give it to me again. He will give it to me in prayer.
All right. Excellent. All right. Let's go to Jackie. Jean had to go. So.
Just one question. I'm part of a referral group, team referral, and we're on a rotational basis to do a 10-minute. So I'm wondering how much I need to change my professional story because some of the people have heard it more than once, but there are some new people.
They don't remember. You keep your professional story the same. I've been telling the same professional story for 20 years.
Okay.
You've all heard it a million times, right? Jason's laughing at me, right? He's heard it more than, yeah. But it's your it's your story. It doesn't change. And you know what? People get familiar. It's like watching that movie. If you're watching television, guess what? You'll stop at a movie that you've already seen a dozen times. Why? Because it's comfortable, it's familiar, and it makes you feel good. So they will feel good because they are familiar with your story. Right? So it's the same. It doesn't change.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go get them. All right. Jason. Jason, you're up.
I can't follow that one. That was I just love the confidence in your response. I mean, that was it's just profound and absolutely spot on. I'm just looking forward to the recording of the call right now. There's nothing much more to really expound on except for the fact that everything of what you shared in this in your content is really bearing on the fact we are really dealing with a different type of audience now, since we're in a different kind of format being in front of the room. And so this emotional connection that you're calling for with these points, it really bears home to really drawing a connection, because what I see is it's not a presentation. It's not just a presentation, but it's a conversation. And that really changes the way and how we see ourselves, or really what our speech is really, who the speech is really for. And so these points right now, I'm looking to rehearse that as I look over my professional story and seeing how ways I can use these points you share to draw more emotional connection through the content. So thank you. I look forward to what the be out in 24 hours or 48 hours.
Well,
what's usually the turnaround time?
Down right now, Jason. So
yeah,
what I'll do is I'll put it up on YouTube and send you a link on YouTube in the meantime. But we're waiting for HostGator to get back to us and fix whatever's gone wrong.
Okay, keep you in my prayers with that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Ruben.
Yes, I'm sorry I came late, so I probably, like Jason, I would like to hear the beginning of the presentation. So this emotional, so that this formula you can implement if you do in live, Facebook Live or any presentation,
Yes.
any speech.
Presentation.
Oh,
Live video for YouTube,
oh,
Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're speaking.
okay. Yeah.
And again,
They-
you don't have to use every single one. If you might think, oh God, there is how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You don't have to use all of them to create that emotional connection.
okay.
Use the ones that are comfortable for you and your speech and your audience, but you will need to use more than one.
Oh, okay.
So 4 or 5 of them or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The other question that I had is, maybe CJ can help me, is I subscribe to the program Restream. It's called Restream.
Restream, yes.
Yeah.
You get to stream multiple platforms.
Yeah. So I had to learn how to use it, but it's better to use that software to go live or.
Well, that's a very good question. And here's my answer. I would practice going live first when you only have minimal technology to worry about, like Facebook, on your phone or on your computer. And I see CJ nodding his head too. Because otherwise it'll become a barrier and you won't do it. And what's important is not the platform. What's important is you getting your message out there to practice for you and getting it to people that can hear it. So don't let anything get in your way, especially technology. So keep it simple, right? And then get complicated later. So once you've got the lives down or you got video down, then add another level of complexity. And this is for everybody, because otherwise it'll just stop you from speaking, and that would be a shame.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So get some lives under your belt before you worry about live streaming to everybody. That would be scary. If I didn't know what I was doing and didn't have any experience and it's going out to 30 different platforms, yeah, that would hold me back as well. So just do one that you can control, and you could go there and delete it if you don't like how you look or something. And otherwise you have to go to 30, 40 different platforms and try to delete it. Yeah. Yeah, I know Restream and StreamYard and all those. I'm not using them yet because I'm just not ready to spray and pray. Right? And that to me is what it's like, just, but doesn't mean I know CJ's using some of that stuff. And when it's time for you to use it, you'll use it. It'll be here forever. And I think it'll be easier and easier. See, there's only 2 platforms now, CJ? StreamYard and Restream, or maybe there's 3 or something. There's going to be a gazillion in another 3 to 6 months. So don't worry. And there's probably going to be easier.
I agree completely. Just do one at a time for now.
For now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
3 minutes, right? 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Nobody's going to watch a 10-minute.
Yes.
Live. You know how you test it? You go on live and watch some people's lives. See when you want to click out, whether it might be a minute on some, it might be 5 minutes on some, but you're not, most of you are probably not watching the whole entire live. You're waiting a few seconds, see if you get the energy, see if you like the content, and you watch it, or you're checking out. Right? Think about it. So you do your own test. And if your threshold is 1.5 minutes, then you do yours 1.5 minutes. If your threshold is 3 minutes, then do them 3 minutes.
Got it. Thank you.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have anything to say or share before we end our call today? We're about 13 minutes after the hour. Thank you for sticking around. Yay. Angelique, did you have any more you wanted to share?
I got it. It's manifest faster than the law of attraction in 21 days.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I couldn't remember. I know I gave it to you, but I couldn't remember. Or it could be 21 days to manifest faster than the law of attraction. That's probably the better way to put it. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Good. I'm glad you found it. All right. Anything else before we end our call today? All right. Then we got another good one for you next week. So just like Steve Harvey would say, we got another good one for you. And we'll see you all then back next week. If you need anything from me during the week, just holler. Got it?
Thank you very much.
All right.
Goodbye, everybody.
Mwah.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. Thank you.
Yourselves.
Bye.
Bye-bye.